In a lonely and dark night, where the ambience was heavy, and a fog was blurring the paths, there were two creatures who met in this spooky night. Near the river, a figure with long and wet hair soft, calling for her children, with pain and repentance in her voice. Further ahead, among the trees, another shadow watched it with a big smile, laughing to itself, its face hidden behind a tangled mane of hair. Two souls in a torment, two curses, and only one could remain.
In this dark night, a young man named Pedro was walking through the blurred paths, lost and with just a lantern. Suddenly, he approached the river, since he knew that his haunting was needed. He was singing a romantic song because he was very much in love. He liked many girls from the town. Suddenly, he heard a woman's lament in the river, so he approached to see if everything was okay. The laments seemed to come from a shadowy silhouette, which looked like a woman. The screams were horrible and showed nothing but suffering.
He decided to get closer to see if this woman needed help, but then he stepped on a branch and it made a loud noise. Suddenly, the crash stopped. The woman stood up and slowly turned her gaze at him. He began to tremble with fear, and when the woman started to scream with suffering and raising her voice, he started to run through the forest with fear and his heart beating like he never had before. At some point, he was tired. He seemed to have lost the woman, but then he heard a whistle, and when he saw where it came from, he saw a beautiful woman. She was the prettiest woman he had ever seen, and he was enchanted.
Pedro started to look towards the woman without even noticing. The more he got close to her, the more she seemed to be far away, until he somehow managed to catch her standing there, facing away. The woman started to laugh and slowly started to turn to him. At the moment, Pedro saw that this woman had really long fangs in her mouth. Then, a sharp whistle pierced through the fog, unnatural and cold, as if the forest itself was warning him.
Pedro felt a chill run down his spine, his legs suddenly heavy, as if the ground itself was trying to hold him in place. His breath quickened, and for the first time, he realized he was no longer in control of his own body. A cry could be heard at the distance. This managed to get him out of his trance, and when he turned back, the same silhouette he saw at the river was behind him.
Pedro, shocked by the fright of being in the presence of these two spirits, did not know what to do and stayed there, watching the two women getting closer to him. Some hours later, the sun came out, the birds were singing, and the fog had disappeared, as well as Pedro and the two women. In his hometown, people say that Pedro was killed and that his body was buried in the tallest mountain. Some even say that he turned crazy and started to live in a cave, isolated from society. But one thing was clear: Pedro wasn't there anymore, or at least a part of him, since people say that if you are in the forest in a foggy night, you could hear the screams of a man, the cries of a woman, and a horrible laugh from a long distance.